This is Overskill by the guys at Clickfunnels, and if you can see me on the video, you'll know that I am a funnel hacker and somebody who's actually worked with the Clickfunnels team. I'm fortunate enough to have 100,500 credits inside of my Overskill account, and Overskill literally builds apps and cool sites. It writes the code, wires up the data, ships it to a real domain in minutes. Now, I've never used this before. This is the first time I've logged in. And I thought it'd be cool to kind of document the journey as I jump in. One thing I noticed when I logged in is there's all of these templates that you can just use to come in there, and you can actually build any kind of website, app, anything pretty much in minutes. And there's pages of these things, 237 different templates. If you want to do funnels, you can come in and do funnels. It's like, hey, all this amazing stuff. But this is more than just landing pages. This is actually real apps created. And you can choose the level of skill that you actually use in your Overskill account. So I want to go max and see how many tokens I actually use. One thing I noticed is I can't actually add a file, can't give it any files, but I can prompt. So the way that I would do this normally is I would go to Claude and I would build out my prompt for my site in Claude, and then I would create a file and then I would paste all that stuff in. I'm just going to start from the bare bones of this, and I'll prompt it verbally so you can kind of hear what I will do. I'm using Whisperflow. If you don't know how to use Whisperflow, there's a link in the comments around the video. This just means I can hold keys down on my keyboard. I can just talk to the AI. When I talk to the AI, it will listen, and then hopefully we get all of this right. Now, I usually like really long prompts, but I want to kind of give us a flavor of this and get this working, and I don't want to overcomplicate it. So what I need is an idea for something. And one thing that I'm really kind of annoyed with right now is my whiteboard app where I can draw on my touchscreen is broken. So I want to try and build that in Overskill. So I've got a personal app that I can use myself. I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to keep it for myself. I can use it to draw on my touchscreen. And then when this other app finishes, I've got a replacement, right? So one of the things I use vibe coding for more than anything is actually being able to create things for myself. I don't want to go and sell things. I don't want to be the next, big company that's going to go out there and make $1 million. I just want things for myself. And that's where you should really start. So we're just going to be very simple with this and see how cool the Overskill AI is. I'm not going to do anything too technical. So I'm hold down my keys. I'm going to talk through Whisperflow in the same mic. You'll hear what I say. You'll see it appear, and then we'll go from there, right? That's the game plan. So create a whiteboard app where I can actually draw on my touch screen, and I can use different color pens. I can use grids. I can use highlighters, erasers, and all of the popular tools that you would expect in a touch sensitive whiteboard app. I also want to be able to flick the screen to dark mode so I can have a black background with light colored tools. I want to be able to add text to my whiteboard, and I want to be able to make notes, put doodles, draw, write down things as I'm in meetings, and keep everything safe. So it's really important that when we have created a whiteboard, that we can label the whiteboard, we can save the whiteboard, and we have date and time stamped on those whiteboards so we can easily find them again. It's super important that when we preview our whiteboards that we can see a little preview of what's actually been written. And it's important that we can search and filter our whiteboards by name, by date, and by any text that might actually be in the whiteboard. This needs to be super fast, super responsive, work on iPads and other touch screens. It should also work on mobile, and it should be responsive to the mobile screen size. So let's get all that stuff in, right? So that's my first piece, right? And then it's giving me some suggestions, which is kind of cool, right? So do I want to share whiteboards with team members? Do I want handwriting recognition for text conversion? Well, I like the sound of that. So I'm going to just click these things, and I'm going to see, it doesn't come back up again. So, here we go. Offline mode for drawing without internet. What else will it give me? Ability to export PDF. This is exciting because it's actually giving me some more. Now, there is a problem when you start giving AI lots and lots and lots and lots. And this might seem like a lot of fun, but if you add too much, it could potentially slow things down. I do like the handwriting recognition. This time, I don't want to have to log in to my whiteboard, just get this going, but we will add a membership system and we will add full password protection as we move. This should be production ready. This should be safe. This should be secure, and no personal sensitive information should be leaked or exposed in the code in the front end or in the console. Now, it's important that you kind of tell it that. Now, I've just said something and I thought, hang on, what's the point, right? So I'm just going to go back and edit this a little bit because I do want it to be password protected. So I'm just going to take out this bit here, and then it might as well add a membership system. Now, the AI doesn't care how you format your prompts, really. It can read everything and get a grip of what you're trying to say. I do like to spread things out a little bit for my own benefit, and you can see that Whisper's already kind of had some bullet points and different things. But that is my prompt, and we're only doing a demo, but I need this app. It's something I wanted to build, and I've got all of these Overskill credits. So we're going to go max. We're going to give it that prompt. We love the suggestions. Let's just see what it does. So it's going to create my app, and it's building out a big bunch of fun stuff. It's adding payment integrations, all these different things as well, which I'm like not seen before because I've never ran this. And the AI is working. It's putting a lot of things together. Now, this will work on a set of skills behind the scenes. So when you put your prompt in, it will go through various different skills and processes to actually make sure it plugs in all of the right pieces in the right place. A big problem that you have with things like Lovable or these vibe coding apps is that the AI will try and save tokens and it will deliberately cut corners. I know from experience working with the guys at Clickfunnels that they don't cut corners. And I know that Russell and Todd and everybody behind the scenes are dedicated to the customer service and the work that they do to make sure that this actually works out of the bag for the customers. So we're building the app and we are going to see what this looks like in a short while. Let it build, and you can see some of the stuff going on the left. It's actually using Claude's Opus 4.8 to plan the changes, which is kind of industry standard for coding, web coding apps. Now, things are flashing up here. So happy hour, extend your lifetime from 5 minutes to 1 hour for stop editing, pause anytime without losing the cache or the cache, however you see that. Now, I don't really know what that means, but it sounds important. I'm not going to press anything right now because I don't want to screw this up. It says no points, so I don't know how many points this is used, but it is building, it's doing a bunch of fun stuff, and it's working. So that's all we know at this point. And I'm excited to see where this goes and what this yields and what this actually brings. It's called it touchboard. So, hey, we've got a touchboard, but is it going to complete the task? It's been thinking deeply for about 1 minute and 30 seconds, as you can see. This is the bit where you can go and work out or, you know, hang out with the kids or cook a meal or whatever, because AI is actually doing the work for you. Now, very rarely do you get a one-shot app. It can happen, but there will always be things that you want to add or want to move or want to change. By one shot, I mean that it's literally done and it's ready to move into as soon as you finish. In this case, I know there'll be work to do, but I just want to get to the point where we have actually got a working prototype and you can see what Overskill is capable of doing. And then you can go and grab yourself an account. There's a link around the video as well to get on the waiting list. Hopefully this doesn't take too much longer and you can see something really cool out of this. Now, you'll also notice at the top, you've got things like mobile, you can do things desktop. You have the you can roll back to versions, which is really good as well. Some sites don't have that. And then you're like, oh, I need to move back and I need to change something. And you don't have a version history. You've also got a comprehensive help section, and you'll get notified if anything is important being sent to you from the accounts team. Also have the ability to collaborate with other users as well. And this helps you to collaborate with your team. So you can share things once they're published, and of course you can publish into production and put things on your own domains as well. So Opus is doing its thing. AI is still working. Nothing's suggesting anything's broke. All of my prompt is in there. And usually once the AI gets a grip of the task, it usually runs pretty quickly once it's got started. So I'm just going to pause this for a minute for you, and then we'll come back when something happens. Now you'll see we've actually got some movement, and you'll see that we've got the aesthetic, the typography, the colors, the unforgettable factor, which is kind of cool, and the layout. We are now well making progress, and you can see the tasks are actually kicking in. And you can also see some other fun stuff that's started to appear up the top. You've got like integrations with Slack and Sheets and different things. And the ability to deploy the app, really good. Settings, we'll take a look at that, I'm sure. And there's an audit log so you can see what things have changed and by who. Some of the things that will only kick in once the build is done. But you can see over here the progress and how the AI is interpreting my simple prompt and turning this into a really complicated thing that nobody would be able to do unless they were a developer. And working with development teams 2 or 3 years ago, this would have taken years to even get this off the ground. We're currently about 10 minutes into this process. At the top, you also notice there's a thing for receiving payouts. So this is built with selling the app in mind. And I'm super excited to think, well, hey, if it works for me and then it could work for other people, I can make some money from this as well, which is cool. The little thing on the right is actually where you are on the leaderboard. So there's gamification in this also. And things are flashing and things are doing and all of the things are working. I'm excited to see what the app actually produces for me for my whiteboard system. It's done 2 of the 5 tasks now, and we will keep this moving. It's also fun to see which tools it's actually using and just being curious as to some of the things that it's actually doing. You can see what's actually going on and how Overskill is interpreting and using its own tools, its own skills. A lot of this is next level developer information and things that you would never know about unless you were actually a developer yourself. So this takes away so much of the stress and anxiety about being able to get your idea out of your head onto the web. This is really cool, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So we have made a little bit more progress now. Our tasks are getting there. Area 5 tasks, 60% complete. You can actually pause this as well, which is kind of useful. Usually it does the biggest stuff first, so set up the database, and then it's building out the layout and the sort of foundation code for your application. Generally, once that work's done, the other tasks unfold pretty quickly in experience. It's interesting to see how Overskill handles this, and I'm excited, as I've said, to see this end result and actually have a new touchboard that I can use for my notes and keeping things organized. So we'll pause one more time and we'll see actually what's it saying. The canvas engine's complete, the page is gallery editor, landing page. It's going a little bit further than I asked it to do. So it seems to be building more things than I imagined, which is great because again, it stops you from having to think. And if you think that this would be thousands of dollars for developers and meetings and time and teams, I know people who've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's just to scope the app. So people have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars just to scope and plan what somebody's then going to develop. Then you need to pay for the development. Typically, a couple of years ago, up until a couple of years ago, the development of some kind of app or system or software as a service like this would have been into $1 million to do this properly. And now you're literally speaking one prompt and the AI is taking care of all of the things that you need. Security is always top of mind and making sure that personal data is protected, make sure that things work on mobile. There's lots of little changes that you might make or questions that you might ask the AI, but so far so good with Overskill, and I'm looking forward now to seeing this complete. So 3 of 5, 60%. Looks like the gallery and editor pages are coming together nicely. Let's pause one more time. So now it looks like the tasks have just completed and it's doing a bunch of stuff. It's explaining exactly what it's doing as it moves, and you can see all the different tools and different things. The tasks look to be complete. It's still working, but the majority of the work seems to be done. So it's going to build the project now and make sure that things are all connected up. And then I would imagine we're going to get a preview and see what our app looks like. Completed. So now we should see the build, which is a lot of fun. You can see the thing starting to build. It's building, deploying, and then propagate. So we're just waiting for the build to complete. You can see that more things have happened, and in this case we had a conflict in the build, so it's now going to fix that conflict, and it's going to offer me suggestions of other cool things I can add to the app. Now I don't want to overload the app and I don't want to bloat this. One thing to notice is our tokens have dropped from 100,500 to 94,010. So that's used a considerable number of tokens. But if you think this could be, upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars to build this normally, then that is a drop in the ocean. And it's interesting to see how the tokens go down or how much things cost. But I wouldn't worry about that, because trying to avoid building online business without, worrying about cost is kind of like stopping the clock to have time. So we've got everything done. Lots of fanfare went off. It says 312 credits further, but I think it used more up there. So it used 6,490 plus 312. All of the things seem to be done. And now we have what looks very special. So we'll open Touchboard and see how it goes, so we can get our new whiteboard, and then that I can actually draw, and I've got my different pens on my screen, which is pretty cool. I can text type stuff. I've got lines and grids I can add. I can go dark, go light. So all of the things I asked for, highlighter, are all apparent. Pen, I can make it a pen bigger. All of the things that I asked for seem to work, and then it's saving automatically. I can name it, call it test. I've got that saved. I can export this as a PDF, and it has actually downloaded the PDF to my computer. So I'm pretty happy with this whole process. We can do the PNG image as well. This is looking good. I guess the only thing left is to actually publish this, and it will help me figure out a URL. I can publish the changes. I can choose whether I want the badge on or I don't. And I can then allow other people to remix the app, which I don't. I can leave the badge on. I can earn money, which is great. And there's a bunch of stuff I can do for security, performance, SEO, export the whole thing as a zip file, and I can put it on GitHub as well, which is coming soon. So this, I'm very satisfied with the results. It's taken us less than 20 minutes to create an amazing app, which is exactly what I wanted to do. I've got my test, I've got my untitled. She's had to save 2 versions, so I might go through and fix that. I'll delete that one. But I can search for whiteboards. I've got the preview. I can do a new, see what's last edited. It's synced across the cloud. It's got my name already set with my actual email address, which is crazy. It actually knows who I am, and it's already created the admin account, which is really good. And I don't think other vibe coding software does that. So 100% satisfied. Overskill.com. Check it out. My links around the video, and we can all earn together. I'm going to go publish this in a second and see where it takes me. But Touchboard is live, and I'm going to actually use this, download it, and who knows, I might even try and sign a few people up to it, because one thing for sure, everybody needs a Touchboard, and now you can get it. I'll go register a domain for it. I'll plug it all in, and the first project on Overskill is live. It's Danny Walsh. Subscribe for more fun stuff like this and more things you can do with AI. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.